Hello and welcome to the Worthup Alliance Entrepreneurial Library. Today, our topic is digital presence. And in this library, we have assembled some of the industry's biggest icons, most talented artists, most accomplished hairdressers, business owners, salon owners, and they're all willing to discuss their thought processes, their challenges, their wins, their failures, all in an attempt to get you set up so that you can successfully open your own business. My name is Jason Backe, and today I am thrilled to have my good friend Kelly Desario here, who is going to shed a little light on having a digital presence for your new business. Hello, Kelly.
Hi.
Why don't we start
Thank you
by
so much.
Oh yeah, of course. Thank you. Why don't we start with you just sort of telling us a little bit about yourself and your history?
So my career started while I was still in high school. I knew that I loved hair, and I was licensed very young. And I was overly creative in so many ways that I ended up creating a business in my 20s that's called Real Style, and that's REEL. And it's always been, I always wanted it to have the allowance to unravel, like almost like a movie, plot twists, new characters. And just before knowing what an entrepreneur was, or that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I was just like knowing that I wanted to have a business and didn't really know what I wanted to fully focus on, because I'm such a creative person and I love using those creative outlets in my business. And that was 10 years ago.
Okay, amazing. So
Yeah, it's been 10 years, a decade.
that's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And there have been some evolutions to your business.
Yeah, so Real Style Beauty is focused on client culture, and for the last decade, it's really been about salon services and being of service to different types of clients. We have Real Style Bridal, which is focused on our bridal experience. And the exchange, Real Style Exchange, has now recently evolved in a different way, but it's really been focused on the exchange of creativity, professionalism, service, and beauty and wellness. So I have Real Style is Real Style Beauty, Real Style Exchange, and Real Style Bridal.
And just to share a little bit about your education behind your brand, like what kind of adventure was that for you?
So developing the brand was, these avenues of bridal and exchange and beauty were almost developed very early, but I just kept trying to figure out how they made sense and what they mean to people and what they mean to me. And I started out as an educator very, very young. I knew I wanted to share and educate. And I landed myself about 5 to 6 years after my education career with Ted Gibson. And he kind of really developed me to see what I have and what I offer differently. And even now, those different pieces of my business are all my personal brand. So they make sense because they're me, and they are vast, like an evolving reel. And I get to decide how they evolve and who they evolve for and what I want to do with them.
Amazing, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have a really a strong digital presence and a very, I think, interesting approach to social media. Can you talk a little bit about what digital presence means to you and what any would-be entrepreneur could be thinking about or should be thinking about as they're starting their business?
So I think this is an interesting topic for me because it was through this, evolution of my personal brand and these avenues in which I have teams of other artists around me also, a digital presence is so important, but a lot of times people, even myself, you struggle with validating the numbers. And I think it holds young professionals back from feeling like they're capable, because so many people are focused on the numbers of how many people are following you, how many people are engaging, and all these little details that are important. And the numbers are important to track growth. But I think that to be authentic and to have impact isn't based on the amount of people that you have on your page. It's based on the amount of people you actually engage with and actually impact. So
talking about, sounds like you're talking about followers, fans and followers.
Yeah.
Let's just say, how many followers do you have on your Instagram for your business or for your personal?
So my main account has 2,300 followers.
Okay, so I would say 20.
So I have 20. I guess I should just tell you my breakdown is 2,300 followers on Instagram. I have 500 engagers on Facebook, and I have 2,000 active clients on my newsletter, email blast, email marketing list.
Okay, that's 2,000 people on your email list is quite impressive for a boutique entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So, I think you're right that a lot of people, just starting out in the industry or thinking about opening their own business are really focused on having tens of thousands of followers to feel like they are having any kind of impact or influence.
Right.
And you're right that there's a big myth there.
Right.
What kind of things do you think are important when it comes to engagement versus followers?
Well, here's the thing. A successful beauty business can be created with 500 people. So if you have 500 loyal, religious clients that pre-book and shop and share and refer, then 500 people may be all you need to hit a really nice career goal. So I think that number is important to remember, because the engagement among your numbers is very important, because those people that will engage with you are the people that care about you, who are invested in you, and will share what you offer them with other people that they care about.
I think that is such valuable insight, and I can apply that to my own experience. When I was representing a manufacturer, and I was told that if I wanted to continue my role, I needed to have more followers on Instagram. And so I spent a lot of time really trying to capture a high number of followers. And I have about 50,000 followers on Instagram. And what I really discovered is true is it's more about what you're talking about. I have a consistent group of very loyal fans and followers that are always the ones to comment, that are always the ones to share. And those are the people that really get my voice out to the people that I want to connect with. It's not so much other people that maybe met me once at a trade show or.
Well, that's the key though, right? Because if you're growing from the start, then focusing on those people is who you want to grow with, and grow at the pace that they allow you to. Otherwise, you have a number that's very large, but fighting isn't maybe the word, but like you're always looking at then who's not engaging.
Right.
Is the percentage of people that are not engaging higher than those that are? Because if that's the case, your number means nothing.
Yeah, it almost sometimes feels like there's a bunch of people just that are wallflowers tagging along,
Right.
What about, you mentioned your email blasts,
yeah.
Or your subscribers to your emails. What kind of stuff should a new entrepreneur be thinking about when it comes to email marketing?
So somebody told me something a while back that I thought was very good advice. And that is that everything changes and evolves, which I know firsthand, but regardless of when it happens, something new will come, right? We have TikTok right now. And whether your main platform is Instagram or Facebook or whatever your main platform focus is, I was told that the main focus platform should be your website and should be your own email list, because no one can take those people from you. And if a platform decides to shut down and you can't get your content and you can't find those people again, then what was it all for?
Right.
And engaging and speaking and connecting with people on your own platform is way more valuable than any other billion-dollar company's platform.
So investing in your own platform or your own way of connecting with people outside
Yes.
of the ones we think of first: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, what have you.
Right.
So what advice?
Right. And those things, and you have to be active on them, but whether it's you have to know your people. So if you have 150 people that you feel are your core people, and maybe it's texting, right? I've been a huge texter, and my guests are so spoiled because I've always communicated with them through text. So there's a big portion of our communication now that is email marketing and is newsletter focused and announcement focused, but they're getting it through text. So it feels like that personal connection hasn't changed, but it's a little bit more strategic.
How often do you recommend connecting with your guests or your followers or your fans through the text marketing or email marketing?
So I think starting at once a month is valuable content, and it's hard to, really get a consistent flow of what you want to share and what they care about, and, figuring out what that overall agenda would be per quarter even. So I think 4 strong focuses per quarter, which is once a month, is fabulous. And then when something's exciting or something's new or a reminder that has to do with the constant evolution of your process or your business, then you can send out those text messages or those extras, and they're willing to see them.
Okay, so you do perhaps a monthly email that you send out with some captivating content, and then
Yes.
they do supplement texts that have different offers, announcements, whatever. So there's a different kind of engagement, because I would assume that an email, like for me, when I get an email, it almost feels like effort compared to getting a text, which seems like effortless. Does that?
Right.
Okay. I like that.
Absolutely. And it is more personal, because, and maybe this is a mentality thing, but we text our mother, our brothers, our family, and we email our coworkers.
Right. So it gives a different level of almost intimacy or closeness than an
Right.
email would. So are you like literally going through your contact list and writing each person an email and going through your contact list and sending everyone individualized text messages?
So it's really important to know your platform. One of the things when you're starting your business and you're talking about like important digital aspects, your booking system, connecting these platforms are somewhat difficult if you're a creative. So knowing the questions to ask, and your booking, your posting, and your sales, your e-shop, those things all need to be connected through these platforms. So everything should be able to go through whatever platform you're using. But as a business owner, I have access through my phone to then use it, stay accountable to it, and then use it even in a more personal way. So if I have these 2,000 people, let's say 1,500 of them make up my business, but 500 of them I call a swan list. And that 500 may have different reasons or seasons that I pay more attention to them, and they get something a little more personal.
Interesting. So when you're talking about a platform, is that like there's a, I can only maybe explain it if I'm being brand specific.
So I can tell you what I use.
Yeah.
And my booking system is Square.
Okay.
And I've used it for 10 years. I've never switched. I've heard different things, and people will get in your ear about this or that or what's best, but you just have to follow your heart. And for me, it's what I know. So because tech, always the back end and coding and all that isn't my strong suit, I want to know it works. I want to know it's consistent. So that platform, how your booking platform can connect with sending emails, sending texts, and receiving money.
Okay.
That may be generated from those sent emails and texts is important.
Okay. And it's interesting because you said something that has been a theme through every conversation that I'm having when you said, for me as a creative, it's difficult to understand. And I think that, again, we just need to highlight that it's important for us to know what we're good at and then find people to help us with the areas that we're not so strong in.
Totally.
So, are you just a natural sort of digital person, or did you sort of outsource that to help you kind of establish your footing?
I'm still getting my footing.
Okay.
10 years in.
You seem like amazing. You seem to have it on lock. So
no, 10 years in, I'm still figuring it out. Because it constantly evolves. So I'm like, okay, even if I have to hire somebody to teach me and make it easy for me to grasp it and be accountable and retain the information and then work the information to my benefit, by the time I'm flowing and I'm like, all right, I got this, feeling good, it's different.
Yeah.
Or like something, like that's the nature of the game, that things change so rapidly. So I think that it is a constant learning curve, and you do need to find those people. And I think it starts also with knowing what you like to do. If going into the stats of your posts and the stats of how many people opened and really looking at those numbers, if you don't get that very quickly, you don't belong in there.
Right.
You need somebody that you trust, that you can rely on to share the information, explain and evaluate the information. But, it's not where my creative brain needs to spend most of their time.
Interesting.
Because you get burnt out.
It's almost like, having someone who is an expert in digital presence could be a line item on your P&L, just like legal fees, just like accountant fees, just like whatever. But it is possible to find someone who can be a resource for you that you maybe have to pay, or in the wonderful world of beauty, maybe barter, to get some help with.
Well, yeah, and you use the right word, which is resource, because it's my entire business and my entire life focuses on personal relationships. So when you find these people that are good at what you need, and you have a relationship with them, and they understand who you are besides a business owner, or, they value what you have, you can value what they have, and then you get to work together. So it really is building a team, and that team may change year to year. So I think what you need when you start, you may not need 2 years from then.
Right.
So it's important to look at things and say, what do I need to take this here? But then when you're headed there, you have to be able to evaluate your, how much you really need that tech support, because sometimes there's a lot of stuff that I've learned and now I do myself.
Right. So it's sort of like having someone give you the training wheels and then take the wheels off when you're ready to ride your own.
Right. And you learn more about yourself and what you like. Okay, I learned this, I got it, but I definitely don't want to do it. Or I learned it, I got it, and it's fine. So, it's like a dance of trying to figure out what is realistic for yourself.
Right. What do you think are some things that you found to be really unexpected in your setting up your digital presence that people could be aware of?
So, unexpected. You can't take things personally.
So what does that mean?
So when you're creating the digital presence and you're sharing your services, or you're sharing your retail choices, or whatever it is that you're sharing, and maybe it's a brand that you're creating that you're not even working in, like there's all these different abilities to share with somebody what it is that you offer, and have the people that you think are going to support you the most ghost you.
Okay.
So I think because it's unexpected, because it's almost like a confidence thing where you could, I know for me, I'm like, okay, well, I have, a core, and that core is going to motivate me to keep posting, or to keep doing this, or keep doing that. And if they don't, even though they're your longest friend or your sister, or like they unfollow you, people unfollow you, that you're like,
Yeah.
dead air.
Yeah.
It's an emotional thing because you put so much, like we talk about, it's your brand, it's your self, it's your worth. And when the people, another professional that we're connected with had really gone in on some of this, and I thought it was really, really intriguing, because you can't expect your family and your friends to support you and to buy whatever it is that you're offering.
Right.
There's millions of people in this world, and if you rely on who you think is going to support you, you will be disappointed.
I think that that's great advice. It took me a while to learn that my coloring hair has nothing to do with our friendship.
Yeah.
So like it would make sense that like I'm not going to be offended if my best friend doesn't come to me to get her hair colored.
Right.
So it would make sense to not be offended if someone close to you isn't like your biggest ally on your social media, or
Right.
doesn't even open your emails when you send them.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice. Just before we kind of close, are there any like final inspirations that you want to share for people that are venturing out and about to do their own thing?
Especially in the times that we're in, moving into this new decade, and the way that technology is our main resource to stay connected on so many levels. I think that thinking about what makes you special in person is really important, because certain feelings have been like our backs are to the wall for someone like me who's such an in-person spirit. So to be able to tap into what you offer the world, what you want to offer somebody who will appreciate it, I think is most important, because there's somebody out there that needs to hear what you have to say. And learning how to get past all that we just spoke about and all the difficulties feels amazing, and it's worth it.
I love it.
It's worth it. So
I was going to summarize.
Stay true to yourself. You are the brand. People love you and what you offer. And the ones that don't, I'm probably jealous.
The hate is going to hate. So I'm going to try and summarize what I heard from our conversation. And one of the most impactful things was, don't be obsessed with your number of followers. Be more concerned with the quality or engagement of your followers, and that we can have all we need is 500 clients to be super successful. So if we have 500 followers that are engaged and that are sharing and liking and commenting, that's all we need to be successful. The rest can be gravy. So it's really about getting that core group of people that are enrolled in your brand.
Yes.
The second thing that I found really helpful for my own business is being committed to that monthly email, and then connecting my platform so that my email and my texting can all be sort of synchronized towards the same goal. And that email is a little bit more maybe businessy or professional, and texting comes across as a little bit more personal or intimate. I love that. I also love that you mentioned knowing where to find your resources and how to outsource things, especially in technology, that a lot of us aren't real experts at, and being able to use those resources to help us become either good enough to do it on our own, or savvy enough to know that it needs to be done and that we don't want to do it ourselves, so we're still going to hire someone else to do it.
Right.
And then, the final thing that is maybe the most profound and is part of one of my favorite books, The 4 Agreements. Have you read The 4 Agreements?
No.
Okay, put that on your list. One of the 4 agreements is never take things personally, or don't take things personally. And, when we put ourselves out there as an individual or as a brand or as a business, there's always going to be someone who is quick to criticize, who's quick to point out the things that we could be doing better, the things that we're doing wrong, and how that can be really defeating, especially to a new business owner. Your first crappy Yelp review, your first unfollow on your business's social media, whatever it is, we have to make sure that we don't take that personally, that it's part of the game, and we just use that to keep us moving forward.
Yep.
Did I take good notes? Do you think I missed anything?
Yeah, you're on it.
Well, thank you
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for your support of the Worth Up Alliance. For everyone that's watching this right now, we have a subscription to our Dive Deeper series, which is a series of webinars with industry experts, icons, leaders, teachers, mentors, all of the people that you want to get information from, that you want to ask questions to. You can do that through our subscription service. So just click on the icon to get more information about that. And we'll look forward to connecting with you with more vital, valuable, crucial information to help you set up yourself for success in starting your own business. Kelly, thank you.
And now consider us your resources.
Yes, the Worth Up Alliance is your resource. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.